Turn off the lights. Imagine you're alone in a room. What you're about to see will stay with you forever. These images went viral across the internet. A young woman enters a hotel elevator, presses all the buttons, and starts talking to herself or to someone invisible. She steps into the hallway, returns, and vanishes. She was never seen alive again. And now, the most terrifying part. 2 weeks later, her body is found inside a water tank on the hotel's rooftop, locked from the inside. No clothes, no signs of violence. How is that possible? Today, we'll break down this case second by second, and I guarantee this video will change your perception of reality. Don't forget to subscribe. More of the world's most mysterious crimes are ahead. February 2013. 21-year-old Elisa Lam embarks on a solo trip across the US. She checks into the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles. Her fatal mistake. This hotel has a terrifying reputation. Serial killer Richard Ramirez stayed here. Suicides happened. People disappeared. Why would anyone choose to stay here? But Elisa isn't afraid. Her blog is filled with excited posts. This is my best trip ever. But after just 3 days, her behavior changes. For the first time, she writes, "I'm scared." She starts avoiding people. Her hostel roommates complain about her odd behavior, and the hotel moves her to a private room. What changed? And then, on February 1st, 2013, the last day she was seen alive. Watch carefully. This is surveillance footage from the hotel's elevator, 11 p.m. Elisa enters and presses multiple buttons, but the elevator doesn't move. She starts speaking into the hallway as if she's hiding from someone, but the hallway is empty. She makes bizarre hand movements as if talking to an invisible person. Then she steps out, and she's never seen again. And here's the creepiest part. A few hours later, the elevator starts working again on its own, as if someone finally released it. 19 days passed before Elisa's body was found. Why wasn't she discovered sooner? Let's break down the timeline. January 31st, 2013. Elisa was supposed to check out of the hotel, but she didn't. February 1st, Elisa disappears. This is the last day she is seen, and soon her eerie elevator footage is released. February 1st to 5th, Elisa's parents try to reach her, but she doesn't respond. They report her missing to the LAPD. February 6th, the police launch an investigation. Elisa's parents arrive in LA and the search begins at the Cecil Hotel and its surroundings. February 6th to 14th, police search the hotel with K9 units, but they don't check the roof or water tanks. February 14th, LAPD releases the elevator footage, hoping for public assistance. February 15th to 18th, the footage goes viral. Theories flood the internet, but the search yields no results. February 19th, hotel guests begin complaining about weak water pressure and foul-tasting water. Staff check the rooftop water tanks and make a horrifying discovery. All this time, Elisa's body had been inside the hotel's water supply, the same water that guests had been drinking for 19 days. Elisa's body was found completely naked. Her clothes and room key were in the water with her. Her phone was missing. There was no water in her lungs, meaning she didn't drown. But the most disturbing fact, the tank lid was locked from the inside. How is that possible? And now we move on to uncovering the mystery. Who really killed Elisa Lam? Official version, mental disorder. The official explanation states that Elisa Lam suffered from bipolar disorder, which may have played a key role in her death. Facts supporting this theory. Her medical records document episodes of psychotic behavior, including hallucinations and paranoia. Elisa's blog contains posts about her struggles with mental health. Her parents confirmed that she had skipped some of her prescribed medication on the day she disappeared. So how could this have happened? A psychotic episode could have caused her to feel paranoid and threatened. She might have hidden inside the water tank, thinking it was a safe space. She could have climbed in using the ladder, but was unable to get out. But here's the strange part. How did she close the lid from the inside? The lid was too heavy to shut alone. Where is her phone? If this was an accident, why was it never found in the water or her room? Why were her clothes removed? People don't normally undress in a state of panic. Conclusion: this theory doesn't explain everything, but her mental state may have influenced her actions in the final days of her life. Version 2: accident or hotel negligence. Some believe Elisa died due to the hotel's negligence or an accident. Facts supporting this theory: the rooftop was not properly secured and access to the tanks was not restricted. There were no security cameras on the roof, making it impossible to know how Elisa got there. The hotel had weak security, allowing strangers to enter freely as it operated as a budget hostel. So how could this have happened? Elisa might have wandered onto the roof, perhaps looking for fresh air or a quiet spot. She could have fallen into the tank by accident after slipping. But there are still inconsistencies. Why were her clothes removed and floating separately? Why was the tank lid closed? Why didn't the police check the tanks during their initial search? Conclusion: this theory explains how she ended up in the water, but too many details don't add up. Version 3: paranormal forces. And now for the strangest theory. The Cecil Hotel has a history of eerie deaths and supernatural activity. Facts supporting the paranormal theory: serial killers like Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, stayed here. The hotel has a history of over 16 unexplained deaths. The elevator did not respond to Elisa's button presses, but started working again an hour after she disappeared. Some believe her movements in the elevator resembled the Korean elevator game, a ritual allegedly opening a portal to another dimension. So how could this have happened? Perhaps Elisa felt an unknown presence in the hotel and tried to escape. If the Cecil Hotel is cursed, something unexplainable may have happened, leading to her death. But here's the strange part: there is no scientific proof of the elevator game or the hotel's curse. The water tanks were real, physical objects. People don't teleport into them. Conclusion: this theory is the most supernatural, but it made the case go viral. What do you think? Which theory makes the most sense? Leave your thoughts in the comments and subscribe, because we continue investigating the world's most mysterious crimes.